Good evening and welcome inside the Austin Convention Center here in Austin, Texas for the second annual First Point Volleyball Foundation Collegiate Challenge. Matt Prosser alongside Salima Rockwell on the sideline for this one. Thanks for tuning on Volleyball TV. And Salima, the opening match of this event. 4 matches played over these next 2 days, and right out of the gates we've got a good one. Number 4 ranked in the nation, Penn State, taking on number 5, Pepperdine.
Well, I mean, it's the best way to start off a tournament like this for both teams. You know, this tournament is going to show them a lot, right? It's early on in the year, and we always say you're going to learn a lot about yourself when you play the best teams in the country, and both of them playing one another right now. I mean, that's what they're going to see. They're going to learn what they're good at, what they need to improve on, and that's kind of the biggest test right now for both of these teams. Where are you at this point in the season?
It'll be a great barometer for both coaching staffs to see how their teams are kind of coming together, like you said, very early on and the very beginning of what can be a long and taxing season as they get ready to make it a push for that Final Four in Fairfax, Virginia at George Mason University. Presentation of our teams. We've got a good crowd on hand here in Austin, about 250 junior club teams playing in the adjacent exhibit halls for some junior event action. We're going to push pause and listen to our national anthem here. Through the net. Both teams, Salima, 4-0 on the season so far. Really just warm-up matches. Both teams competing against some teams that maybe aren't in their conference, you know, not really at the top of their respective conferences. That really sets the table for what could be a very interesting, very hard-fought battle between these two teams. They haven't played each other in over 8 years. And so, you know, as these teams have both progressed, this is going to be a big battle to start off this event this weekend.
And I think one of the biggest things that we're going to see is the serve-pass game. Obviously, we talk about this all the time, but it's going to be interesting, the level of pressure. Both of these teams are excellent serving teams, and how well are they going to be able to handle it? That's going to be key, and I'm really interested to see, because at this point, I don't know if either team has seen that kind of pressure yet, so that'll be a big part of the entire equation.
Yeah, we definitely know how important the serve and pass game is in men's volleyball at all levels. Certainly expect to see some high-velocity jump serving from the end line, but the occasional jump float serve, try to keep the passers honest as we get the introduction from the starters of Penn State, wearing the blue uniforms tonight with the white shorts. Setter number 6, Cole Bogner. Outside hitter number 8, Michael Cole. Opposite hitter wearing number 9 will be John Kerr. Outside hitter wearing number 12, Brett Wildman. Middle blockers for Penn State will be number 13, Owen Rose. And number 18, Toby Ezionu. High flyer through the middle there. And the libero in the white jersey tonight for Penn State, wearing number 7, will be Ryan Merck. Penn State coached by the legendary Mark Pavlik. He's been at the helm of that program for decades.
Been there a long time. Mark Pavlik has done a fantastic job at Penn State University. And
I remember being on the court, seeing him through the net on the bench while I was playing Penn State back in the day as well. And now the starters for the Pepperdine Waves from Malibu, California. Middle blocker wearing number 5 is Anderson Fuller. The setter for Pepperdine. You might recognize this name if you've watched volleyball for a long time. Number 6, Bryce Dvorak. Nephew of Olympic gold medalist Dusty Dvorak. Opposite hitter for Pepperdine, number 12, Jacob Steele. Second outside hitter for Pepperdine in number 15, Joe DeLuzio. Number 23 in white will be the outside hitter, Jalen Jasper. High-flying, highly athletic player. And the second middle blocker, number 25, Akin Wumi. And the libero for Pepperdine in the blue jersey, wearing number 3, Trey Cole. Pepperdine Waves coached by former Pepperdine setter Jonathan Winder in his first season at the helm of this program. Very excited to get back down to Malibu with him and the family. Talked to him before the match. Great head on his shoulders. Happy to be back in men's volleyball. Salima, you can relate to a first-year head coach.
I absolutely can.
What are the emotions like for him right now?
I mean, it's so interesting, the difference between, when you're starting a new program, starting a new job, and kind of how you're feeling before the match starts. You're just kind of assessing it all. Got so much to take in, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. So it's a lot, but he's in a really good place. He seemed pretty calm and collected right now before the match. He's been a head coach, so that's not new territory for him, that's for sure.
Yeah. Most recently a head coach at Fresno State University for their women's volleyball program out there in California. And a former All-American, former national team player himself. Very calm, cool, and collected is Jonathan Winder. So another little bit of a game within a game. You've got the experienced Mark Pavlik. You've got the newcomer, quote-unquote, onto the bench with Jonathan Winder. And we're just about ready to get underway here. Penn State will be on the right side of your screen wearing the dark blue uniforms. Pepperdine in the whites. Penn State will get us underway here from Austin, Texas. Good service pressure right out of the gate. Jasper with his first attack finds the corner from the back row to score for Pepperdine.
We'll expect to see that, a lot of that tonight out of Jasper, running that ball out of the back row, and they're going to send him a ton, of course, out of the front row as well, but it's a nice weapon to have.
When you're 6'8", you can jump about 40 inches. Yep. That's definitely a weapon you want to utilize. Back row attack, picked up. Just a down ball from Pepperdine. Nice outside attack there by John Kerr to get Penn State on the board.
Well, it all starts with that tip out of the middle to start things off and get Pepperdine a little bit off the net, out of system, get a better ball back for Penn State, creating that opportunity.
So here's Brett Wildman's first opportunity at the end line. High flying, highly athletic, big hitter for Penn State. Strong jump serve. Bump set from Dvorak, a little bit of chaos play there. What a save, but Penn State can't get it back over the net, and somehow Pepperdine's able to score that point, Selena.
Making a play out of nothing. They tried to run that offense on the outside and really got lucky on that one. Penn State was scrambling to try and make a play.
Here's Joe DeLuzio now at the end line. Back set all the way, gets dug down the line by DeLuzio. Steele can't find the floor. Second chance for Penn State. Kerr misses wide that time, and Pepperdine takes the point.
Kerr was going high and flat. It looked like he wanted some hands there for a minute. That ball was set a little bit tight, but didn't end up getting the hands on that play.
Deluzio on a little bit of a service run. This is second attempt now, and he goes long. Number 13 for Penn State, the middle blocker, Owen Rose, getting ready to serve now. Jump serve takes a little bit off. Scrambled play by Dvorak, has to bump set, and Steele against the triple block gets to go off the hands and out of bounds.
Really well played by Steele, looking for that outside hand of the right side blocker, just tooling it right off the edge, trying to get something with a triple block in front of him.
Back in Woomy now at the inline for Pepperdine. Opens up his jump serve. And it finds the net. So back-to-back service errors for Pepperdine here, still very early on in the match. Being aggressive does lead to a few errors from time to time, so we'll see how that progresses throughout, as now John Kerr will serve for Penn State. A hybrid serve over to Steele. And there's a misconnection from Dvorak and Fuller on the Pepperdine side.
Those are the kind of things you're talking about early on in the season. You're trying to work on that connection, running the middle from way off the net. That's something that'll get tighter and tighter as the season goes on.
So unique service here. It's a two-handed toss and then gives it a bit of a hybrid corkscrew serve. Results in an overpass. Chance for Penn State now. As Ionu gets the paintbrush to fall.
Sometimes those float serves, when there's not a lot of heat on it, but just a little bit of movement, a little harder to track. It's not, the direction is staying a little bit off course.
Now John Kerr, 6'7", contacts this ball at a high point, drives it across. There's a better pass this time against the flow to Jasper, and Jasper goes over the block and down for the point.
It's amazing, the physicality, how high he is above the block. There's only one blocker there, but it didn't even matter. He's well over the top, hitting that ball deep into the corner.
Great set by Dvorak to go against the flow and only get one blocker in front of Jasper. He says thank you very much, and now goes to the inline. Tough serve down the line. In system, though, nicely done by Penn State. They get the side out and point.
Really nice run, a perfect pass, got middle blocker, got everybody to jump on that play. No block available on the outside for the kill.
That was Cole on the left side getting his first point of the match, and now he steps up to the inline. Serve catches the net, throws Pepperdine off, save. Dvorak tries to just set it over, but a little too aggressive that time, and it ends up in the net for the error. But service pressure, Salima, getting Pepperdine out of system early here in set number one.
It's difficult. I talked to Coach Pavlik, and he said he pretty much lets them go. He wants them to be aggressive from the service line and try to manage their attacking errors to balance that out. That's kind of their philosophy in their gym.
Trey Cole, the libero, stepping in to set that ball, and Steele goes high off the hands again for the point and side out.
Take a look at that block. We have a good vantage point. The block wasn't completely over the net. He found some space between the hands and the net on that play.
After that side out, Steele stepping back to the end line now. High toss jump serve. Pass right on top of the tape. Hit over by the setter, but Doug. Deluzio gets blocked, covered. It goes over. Credit right there to Anderson Fuller, covering his hitter off the block and then getting a
well, that's the key.
4-2 this bounce that time.
I mean, if you can control, cover the ball, make those little plays. Actually, John Winder said that. We talk about all those small, easy plays. If we can just control a couple of them, we can have really good success there.
Second service attempt for Jacob Steele now. Well passed in system, Penn State. Toby Izionu hammering that 31 set.
Very difficult to stop. I mean, if you're watching this play develop, Toby's so high above the net, no block in front of him. You can just put it down. Doesn't even have to hit it hard.
That is what Toby Iziono does. He flies and absolutely hammers that quick attack through the middle for the Nittany Lions. Pass by Cole at the 3-meter line. Jasper attacking it high off the hands and gets the point. So Pepperdine getting the point. We're tied at 8 points apiece here. Early action in set number 1. Another good pass. Setter attack gets picked up by Jasper. DeLuzio goes high off the hands and a real point scored by Pepperdine.
Key play by Jasper, getting that ball, that setter dump. Everybody knows you can see it coming, but you have to be in the right spot. That ball was going right in the middle of the court.
Credit to Jasper to realize the setter's in the front row and then play defense behind it. Back row attack, that time from Penn State. John Kerr scoring with the cross-court heater.
Penn State running their own back row attack. That D-ball, very effective in the men's game, along with that bick in the middle of the court, but having that offense on the right side of the court changes everything, especially when your setter's front row.
Offensive balance, would you say, is an extremely important key to this match?
Absolutely.
Pass in from Cole, left side DeLuzio. Looking for a high hands and misses the sideline wide.
DeLuzio looking for that deep corner. It was available for him, just missed it.
Cole Bogner, the setter for Penn State, now serving. Play defense at right back. Have 3 hitters to the front row in this rotation. Good, strong jump serve. Dvorak to the left side. Deflected in a nice dig. Chance for Penn State. And it's Kerr going off the block and down for the point.
Really good deflection at the net, slowing that ball down to allow Penn State to come back in transition.
You said it, Salima. Sometimes that deflection on the block doesn't really count in the statistical category, but it's sometimes just as good as a block point.
Absolutely.
So now a 2-point advantage for Penn State with Bogner serving again. This time he goes too strong for the inline. Both teams still trying to find their rhythm. Both teams got in yesterday, got to practice in this morning as well. Dvorak, the lefty, with a good jump serve, but well passed. And the middle attack that time by number 13, Owen Rose, scoring for Penn State.
That's the risk you take. You want to rip the jump serve. You want to go after it. And if they can handle it well and run their offense on either side, that's where you get yourself into trouble. Talk to Coach Winder. He said he lines up his servers in order of how hard they serve the ball. So he likes to just go for it early.
Speaking about a hard server, here's Brett Wildman from the inline. Great pass, though, from Pepperdine. Jasper on the left. He goes down the line and finds the open court for the point. Jalen Jasper playing in that 0-1 position where he hits on the left side most of the time, but also on the right. Has to step in and pass. Doing a good job so far, Selena.
Well, he can do so much, and that it can put him anywhere, and that's what's such an advantage of having him on your team.
Good serve that attacks the seam of Penn State passers and results in a service ace for DeLuzio. So our first service ace of the night for Pepperdine. Attacking the seams, Selima, that time between Trey Cole and, Ryan Merck and Cowell. Better pass this time. Through the middle, Owen Rose goes high, but misses the block, and it's a hitting error.
It was a great pass in, exactly where they wanted it to go. Those are the ones you want to get back. Those unforced errors. There's a double block in front of him, but he still wasn't able to catch those hands.
So Pepperdine regains a 1-point advantage. DeLuzio targeting Cowell. Here comes a right side set. And that ball finds the open court. It's John Kerr once again scoring for Penn State.
Really nice job reversing the flow there. All those passes coming to the left side of the court. You have to free somebody up, get some space between the block when it's all on one half of the court. And
you can see it by the replay here. Keeps the blockers honest as well. Advantage Penn State. John Kerr scoring, and we're tied at 13 points all now. First substitution of the game comes in to serve. Jasper from the right, dug up. High ball, nobody can hit it, so a free ball over to Pepperdine. Quick attack, good read by Izionu, but Pepperdine takes the score. It's Akinwumi with the point. Akinwumi gets the kill, and then we'll step back to serve now. Good jump serve, catches the tape, passed well though. Kerr again from the right side, picked up by Jasper. Here's Steele. Wildman gets the dig. Kerr again going high hands and scoring.
Phenomenal rally. Beautiful one-handed set to finish that off. Jasper flying underneath the net to keep that ball alive. A lot of fantastic defensive effort.
Salima, yourself as a former setter, would notice the one-handed set.
Of course.
My view was blocked on that one. Oh, good set through the middle by Dvorak, finding Fuller. Good connection there for Pepperdine to score the point.
That's what they were trying to run a little bit earlier. Missed that one early on in the set. Now finding it again. If they can continue to run something that far off the net, run their middle attack, that's going to be so effective for them moving forward.
You have to establish the middle early and often. Make sure the opponent's block and defense respects their middles. But for Dvorak, he was literally 10, 11, 12 feet off the net, fired that 31 in to Fuller, so you can tell that they've been working on that connection. They realize how important it is to keep that Penn State block honest.
For sure, and especially with the serving. They're serving both sides, serving so tough. You're going to be off the net. You're not going to be in perfect pass when they're ripping their jump serves. So you have to be able to figure that out, reverse the flow, get the middles involved, and that's what they're doing well right now.
Well, Dvorak, a junior setter, 6'4", good sized. Obviously comes from some good family volleyball lineage. But again, just to touch on how important it is to shoot that set in from wherever he is through the middle. In this type of game that is now being played at this level with pressure from the inline, very important as a team development.
Take a look at the best player stats at this point. You saw Jasper there in the lead, who has been phenomenal so far, and not just offensively. Saw him playing defense. He's picking up tips. He's playing covers off the block, and a really big, energy. A lot of energy from him, and I think the team really feeds off of him.
Yeah, very important to assist not only at the net on offense, but you have to play defense as well. Be a well-rounded player. Any future spikers out there watching? As Jasper now will get us back to action. Pepperdine up by 1. And scratch that. It's tied at 15s as that serve goes into the net.
Again, one of their green light servers. He can just go for it. And when you have those servers that can go for it, you take it and you balance the other servers where they can hit their spots.
There's a service ace for Michael Cowell. Penn State regains the advantage. Once again, pressure from the inline, Salima.
You're going to see it again and again, especially from Penn State. Coach Pavlik, like I mentioned earlier, he said, I want them to go for it. I want them to not be afraid to go and take a rip, because they'll just get better and better at it.
This time he takes a little bit off, but passed well by Steele. Steele gets the set, but we've got a net violation against Penn State. And a side out for Pepperdine.
That's an excellent play by Steele. Short serve, trying to get him out of the play a little bit, jam him up, but he just was able to step close and still find a rhythm to find that hole in the block.
Steele at the inline now after that side out. High toss, good jump serve. Passed well though. Izionu once again hammers that attack through the middle. Toby Izionu is proving that he is a very difficult man to stop through the middle for Penn State. Fortunately for Pepperdine, he goes to the inline now and misses that jump serve into the net. service errors continuing to mount for both teams here. Anderson Fuller, the middle blocker, goes with the jump float serve. In-system pass. Set through the middle, but Doug and Pepperdine's going to get it back over. Free ball to Penn State now. Another attack through the middle. Owen Rose drops the hammer.
A great effort on the side of Pepperdine chasing that ball down, but you know when there's a free ball coming that there's trouble coming right behind it.
Yeah, you don't want to give away too many of those free balls, especially when it puts the opponent at full strength. Owen Rose made them pay that time. Here's the setter, Bogner. Almost hits Jasper on the way out of bounds, but Jalen doing a good dodgeball impersonation that time.
You can dodge a wrench.
So Dvorak at the inline now. The lefty goes with that jump spin serve. A lot of pressure on that one. Kerr gets blocked but covered. Second chance, Wildman. Blocked and recycled though. Kerr against three blockers. Dug, and it goes over and out of bounds. Point Penn State.
Penn State getting some offense going with their coverage, continuing to be smart with the ball. You saw the one recycled into the block. They got a better ball back, and they were able to get a good swing on the left.
Wildman now at the inline, looking to add to his point total. But he misses long. That was an aggressive miss that time, Selena.
Going hard and deep. I mean, they have room to play with. This is just back-to-back, right? It's 19-all right now. They want to really put pressure on one another. Pepperdine's gone on a little bit of a run from the end line earlier on. Penn State wants to do the same thing.
DeLuzio with a strong jump serve. Bogner can't save it off of Cowell's errant pass, and it's a service ace for Pepperdine.
And that's that balance between hitting it hard and hitting it where you want it, right? So there's enough pace on that ball. It's not the hardest jump serve that you're going to see. Has a little bit of action on it, moves a little bit, and he puts it right on the passer hitter. So that's exactly what they were intending to do to get Penn State off the net.
Well, you said it right there, Salima. Clearly, Pepperdine's strategy is to go after Michael Cowell, the front row outside hitter, right down the line. And as the passing player, that's the hardest ball to pass, the jump serve that comes down the line right at you.
Well, it's coming so fast because he's on the same side of the court. You don't have a lot of room to react, and you want to get to the outside at the same time. So you got to slow that down as much as you can, pass it high in the middle of the court if you can. Give yourself some room to attack. That's a tough situation.
Arms out early, focus on that split step, track the ball right into your platform, and just get the ball up so you're set. Put a decent ball up to a teammate to attack. As Penn State calls a timeout. Now down by one here as we enter the business end of set number one. What do you think Coach Pavlik's saying to his team?
Well, I mean, this is exactly what you would expect from this kind of a match. Tough serving game, really high offensive production from both sides right now. But he's just saying, hey, let's just take a breath. This is a timeout where you just, let's get a moment, see if we can, the server can miss here at this point, right, to get him out of his rhythm a little bit. And regroup. They're in fine shape. Both teams are right now, but it's a good time to take a timeout.
Each team with 2 timeouts, so Coach Pavlik clearly knows his strategy on when to utilize those timeouts. As we're back to action now with DeLuzio at the inline. Pepperdine up by 1 here in set number 1. Good jump serve right at Cowell again. Good pass. And through the middle, it's Owen Rose attacking and scoring.
You got to give it to him. Coming right back out of the timeout. Same ball coming right in your lap. You know he's going to serve you. Perfect pass right into the middle of the court.
Working on verification of any relationship to the former women's coach at Penn State, Russ Rose, as Owen serves.
I don't think so.
It's Pepperdine out of system, and Jasper just has to set it over. Advantage Penn State now. Kerr with a one-on-one situation goes hard angle for the winner.
Free ball opportunities for Penn State is giving them this advantage right now. When they're up at all, they're handling the free ball, holding the middle blockers, and getting one-on-one offense.
And just like that. Penn State now in the lead, 21 serving 20. Confirmed no relation to Russ Rose. This is that serve into the net. We're tied at 21s, just as you would expect between two teams ranked in the top 5. The NBA ABCA national poll. Woomy now at the end line. Jump serve catches a tape and falls in front of Wildman for the service ace.
He went back there with the absolute intent of hitting it as hard as he possibly could. Even when it hits the tape, that's hard to handle.
Let's see what he can follow it up with now. On that one, good pass by Wildman. Right side attack to Kerr. Oh, high over the block, and DeLuzio can't control it.
That's a tough ball. When you're going that high and deep into the court, you saw DeLuzio come into the court a little bit, expecting that ball to go down in front of him. Caught him a little bit high. That's a really high and deep shot.
Penn State making a quick blocking substitution into the front row. That's number 17, Will Coons. 22 all here. Dvorak from 12 feet off the net goes to steal, and he goes high off the hands and out of play. Well attacked that time by Jacob Steele.
Really good at that play, hitting the ball high off the hand. We saw that earlier on. They're in front of him. He knows what to do with the ball, how to move it around, how to get it off the hands.
Michael Cole back in for Penn State now. The front row outside hitter. Jasper preparing to serve. 23 serving 22. Good serve. Wildman with the tight pass. Joust at the net. Pepperdine saves it. Jasper from the counterattack. He gets the ball off the block and out of play, and Pepperdine reaches set point.
Fantastic play by Pepperdine. Keeping that ball alive. Joust at the net. Back and forth, and they were able to score in trans out of the back row attack one more time. Having Jasper ready to go all the time out of the back row is just a huge advantage for Pepperdine.
Yeah, for Penn State, as they call their second time out here, they always have to know where Jalen Jasper is in the Pepperdine offense, and they have to respect him. He's leading all scorers. He's errorless on the night so far on his attack, and you know that the Pepperdine offense is going to be centered around Jalen Jasper.
That's the key with the left side blockers, making sure that they're at least splitting the difference between the middle and that D-ball attack. They're going to have to respect if they goes to the middle, they make sure he gets there, but they can't completely leave him.
So coming out of this timeout, it's 24-22 in favor of Pepperdine.
Kind of get head up, and then you're left to cross court on 9. But a lot of the medium passes at like 5 to 6 feet is what they like to send the quick so far. Perfect passes, they're like way off, they're going to go, boys, go, boys!
Get them off the net a little bit, because we've seen Penn State, when they're on the net, they're running the middle and they're scoring effectively. So you got to go after it a little bit. You're up by 2, so you've got some room to work with here. So some pressure, but maybe not 100% serve.
Well, we're definitely not going to see an underhand serve, but we might not see 105% serve. But with Jalen Jasper, he utilizes that jump float serve, so we want to see some pressure on the passers, like you said. Here we go. Set point opportunity number 1 for Pepperdine. Serve pass by Wildman. Penn State in system. Iziono gets blocked, but it's covered. A free ball now to Pepperdine. Dvorak passes the first ball. Libero sets Dvorak, but he gets dug. And there's an over-the-net violation by Anderson Fuller.
Tough play. That ball didn't clear the net. It was still on the side of Penn State when he went to make a play on it and just reached completely over the net.
Great replay right here as you can see Fuller just licking his chops a little bit too much. Eyeballs got really big, but just a little too aggressive that time as that over-the-net violation called against Pepperdine. Now Pepperdine decides to use their first timeout, still just one-sided away from taking this opening set.
Put themselves in a good position there, had an opportunity again with Dvorak playing that first ball, getting a good swing out of that situation, but you know that's what happens in this game. You know, little errors, those small things you want to clean up as a night goes on, as the weekend goes on as well.
Well, it was a smart play by Penn State to free ball it over to Dvorak, who's the front row setter. However, I don't necessarily know if I agree with Trey Cole's choice of setting back to Dvorak in the front row. The setter, I know he's left-handed, good angles, like, you know, former left-handed outside hitter setters from Pepperdine,
Yep.
John Mayer,
Yep.
you know, guys, those lefty whips, but Dvorak just wasn't quite ready for that set. I would like to have seen him maybe go overhead or through the back row middle.
I just wonder how much they do it in practice. That might be a thing. I mean, it was pretty comfortable. He was like, I'm going there right away. Didn't have to make some weird decisions. So.
Jacob Steele on the left out there, and a chance to win the first set. But anyways, team's back out on the court after that Pepperdine timeout. Cole will serve. Set point opportunity number 2 for Pepperdine. Good serve through the seam. Jasper has to set it over. Advantage Penn State, and Ezionu hammers that one cross court to tie us up at 24.
Wow. Ripped the jump serve and hit 2 people. That's why he had to play it over. It happened so quickly, it was hard to tell. And there's that middle attack again on that free ball.
The serve by this man, number 8, Michael Cole. Can he do it again now to get Pepperdine out of system? He gets a service ace. He does one better.
Unbelievable. No fear, going after it one more time. The green light serving of Penn State one more time.
And just like that, the tides have turned. Penn State now has set point, but Pepperdine has a timeout that they use. A turn of events, and just like that, Salima, I mean, the momentum of men's volleyball can turn on a dime like that.
It happens so quickly, and again, it's always the serve, ripping the serve, getting somebody off the net. You can generate so many points, and that's why coaches have these philosophies. People talk about it all the time. Men's volleyball, they miss so many serves, but when they're on the net, we're watching what happens when they're on the net. You're putting yourself at a severe disadvantage when you serve easy, so you might as well.
Yeah, the importance of service pressure cannot be understated, right? It's absolutely, sometimes, you know, not as bad in terms of service errors as it was maybe back in the day where there were just service error after service error, you know, 30 service errors in a match. But you can see if you serve too easy, there's no chance you're going to stop the other team's offense. You have to get the other team out of system. High ball, give yourself an advantage with your block and defense, and that's what Cal is doing right now for Penn State.
See if this timeout can slow him down a little bit.
So overtime volleyball here in set number 1 between the number 4 and number 5 ranked team in the country. Cowell serving at set point for Penn State. Another good one. Well passed though. Dvorak goes through the middle and Fuller misses. Wrist away. Pepperdine gives it away. Penn State takes the opener. 26-24.
It was neck and neck like we thought it would be, and then those couple of points in a row at the right time of the difference makers. Unbelievable serving run there at the end.
Now, tough rotation for Pepperdine to get stuck in with Dvorak in the front row, but you said it, service pressure by Penn State. Pavlik told us before the match he was going to give the green light to his players. They took full advantage of it, down by 2 points, facing 2 set points. They're able to turn around and steal that opening set from Pepperdine.
Well, and it's amazing the poise and just how calm they were. You don't feel that stress, that tension. Usually that manifests itself through some service errors, some wild swings when it's tight at the end of the set. I saw none of that from either team, really. So very impressed with both teams' composure and how they played that first set.
Quick glance at the set statistics for each team there. 3 aces for Pepperdine, 2 for Penn State. Salima, that was a quick one. We didn't get to see as many kills as we wanted to, but overall I thought a pretty good offensive performance by both sides.
Definitely was. We've got some more stats here in front of us. We'll take a look at that. We've got 16 kills on the side of Penn State and 14 on the side of Pepperdine. So really close there. Point scoring, Penn State point scored just a little bit better, slightly higher, 38%, and Pepperdine was at 33%. So that's a big difference, a small difference, but a big difference in this game, that's for sure.
Yeah, no surprise, Jalen Jasper leading Pepperdine, 6 kills on 7 attempts. Meanwhile, for Penn State, John Kerr, 8 kills on 12 attempts, only 1 error. And Toby Ezionu, as expected, errorless, 4 kills on 5 attempts through the middle.
Unbelievable. And Penn State hitting 500 on that set. Pepperdine at 360. So I mean that's a big difference when they're able to generate their offense, get their middles going. That's what we saw. Their middles hitting 800 and 500. 583. So I mean that's the difference when you're looking at getting your middle attack involved. Or like Pepperdine, you've got two players hitting 857 and 667. The rest were pretty negligible. So Pepperdine needs to get a little more offense from everything else going on at this point in the next set.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Salima. Meanwhile, Penn State, Brett Wildman only with one attempt in that opening set. Hitting 0, but obviously in there for his passing, his service pressure from the inline, and his leadership.
Well, and he's been out and hadn't played in a little while, and it was even questionable. You know, would he be back? Is he going to be back tonight? So maybe some of that is saving him. I'm not really sure what was going on injury-wise, but having him on the court was huge for them. They're calm, they're poised. He's a big leader on that court, no matter what he's doing offensively.
He certainly is a leader for this Penn State squad as Penn State comes back out onto the court. Salima Rockwell to my left, I'm Matt Prosser. Thanks for joining us on Volleyball TV here in Austin, Texas. Once again, this is the second annual First Point Volleyball Foundation Collegiate Challenge. We've got a nice crowd on hand. 4 matches this weekend over today and tomorrow's activities. Later on will be University of Louis Flyers playing the Stanford Cardinal.
Such a good tournament and such a wonderful event, you know, supporting men's volleyball, helping grow the game, and hosting it here in Austin, Texas, and during the tournament time where there's lots of youth players here.
So here we go, getting ready to start set number 2. You notice that our teams have not switched sides. This being an exhibition format event, they stay on their respective sides throughout the entirety of the match as Dvorak gets us underway. Kerr down the line, gets the ball off of Steele's defense and out of bounds. Penn State scores first.
Starting off with a nice pass there, Penn State. And Pepperdine going after it from the service line. They're handling it fairly well.
So the setter, Cole Bogner, having a nice opening set, distributing the Penn State offense very effectively. Pass in, quick attack. What a turn that time. Wumi going high cross body for the point.
Playing in the middle. He's been playing in the middle this year. He's been an outside, been on the other pins, and so they've been moving him around.
Cowell with a good pass, and Cowell with the big attack. The first time we've seen Penn State utilize that play tonight nicely. Such an important offensive play in men's collegiate volleyball, even women's collegiate volleyball, utilizing the big attack now. As Wildman steps back to serve. His first serve of set number 2 goes into the net. As he's continuing to find his rhythm from the inline. Breaking Wumi now. This is his serve in the net, so back-to-back service errors. There's a service ace. It's Owen Rose getting in on the service ace category.
Ton of service pressure. I mean, we're going to keep talking about it. You see it in front of you, going for it, hitting those seams again, not just straight down the middle, where the direction changes just a little bit on the ball, cuts from right to left.
And that philosophy of the green light from the inline working for Penn State, but this time Fuller gets the connection right with Dvorak and scores the point through the middle for Pepperdine.
Dvorak doing a nice job getting the ball into the middle again. When he has those opportunities, forcing the block of Penn State to really hesitate a little bit and have to really focus on that.
Jasper now from the end line, looking to add to his point total. Goes with that hybrid, but too strong and just long that time. Penn State out to a 2-point lead now early on. But we have a challenge coming up. Jonathan Winder using his first challenge of the match for Pepperdine, thinking that that serve may have caught the inline.
A couple of them looked at him and said, hey, let's give it a try. So the player's thinking that it was in.
We are utilizing the challenge system here, although we don't have the video feed directly to you at home. We'll take care of that business over on the officiating table.
He gets to keep that challenge. They start with 3, and if he loses this challenge, they take it away.
Challenge system has become a very great aspect of volleyball on almost all levels for the teams, the officials, the viewers on site, the viewers at home. Down that in fact that ball was out of bounds, and the point and ball will stay with Penn State.
Like I said, I mean, it's nice to have the challenge in play because it's so slight, and now they're saying perhaps it was in. I'm not sure.
Hold on a minute. It's still very early in the season for our officiating crew as well, not just the players, so dusting off the whistles, and it is reversed, so Pepperdine will take the point, and we're tied at 4 points apiece after some clarification there.
A little bit of confusion, but we got it right. That ball's in.
Jasper gets credit for the service ace, comes back. Wildman with the pass and a one-handed set. Gets dug. Fuller in transition picked up. Set over, Jasper with the dig. And Steele from the left side gets the point.
Pepperdine able to keep that ball in the system, running a faster go on that free ball. Again, Coach Winder said, we got to take care of the free balls, the easy ones, the easy plays, without question.
Jalen Jasper on a nice service run now. This is attempt number 3 for him. That hybrid getting Penn State out of system. Kerr high off the hands and just out of reach of 2 Pepperdine defenders that time.
Jasper trying to jump as high as he can to make this play, but a little bit out of reach. A nice play on the side of Penn State.
DeLuzia was right behind him, tracking the ball as well. 5 serving 5, John Kerr at the end line. Good pass in from the libero. Fuller, high and hard. Wildman with a great effort, but can't track it down. And Pepperdine takes the point through the middle once again, activating Fuller.
We talked about those block touches. It was a great touch out of the middle of the court, unable to be tracked down on the side of Penn State, but a good run again through the middle by Pepperdine.
Fuller trying to make up for that error at set point for set number 1. Off to a good start here in set number 2, the 6'9" middle. High ball over to Kerr. 2 blockers up, but it's covered by Penn State. Second chance. There's that deflection. Steele saves it. Dvorak just has to tip it over. Chance for Penn State now through the middle. Ezionu once again scores. Still errorless on the night.
Keeping him going, he's going to be effective. I know they wanted to run him as much as possible, get him comfortable again this season as he continues to develop as a player. You've seen him last year, how good he can be in these types of matches.
Yeah, his size and athleticism, a huge advantage for Penn State, and there's a service ace. Cole getting it from the end line, going cross court for that winner. Pepperdine has to fight off these Penn State serves because Penn State clearly has gotten the green light from Coach Pavlik to get after it from the end line. Another good serve down the line. Deluzio off the net goes to Jasper. And Jasper misses cross court, his first error of the night. That error, a direct reflection of the service pressure once again.
Without question.
Cole, another strong serve, a pass well. Dvorak through the middle to Fuller. Doug, chance for Wildman now against 3 blockers, and he goes off speed, finds the open space, and scores the point.
And you look at how well the libero for Penn State is playing right now. That's Ryan Merck, who he didn't play, and last season, really, they were like, this is going to be a big test for him. Is he going to be ready for the heat? Ball coming at him super fast, service pressure, but he's holding up pretty well, handling the ball.
Holding up indeed as Cowell goes with another strong jump serve against the flow to Jasper, but that is a high-level swing by Jalen Jasper for the winner.
He is fired up. You watch him right now. He is talking to his players. He's like, let's go. We've got to get this going. Finding that seam down the line, able to hit that so cleanly with a huge block in front of him. Not many players can do that.
Yeah, and you love to see Dvorak show the faith in his outside hitter to go back to him after that previous error as Penn State's out of system, and Wildman goes with a very smart high hands attack off the block and out of play for that point.
That's what that kind of experience does for you. He sees the hands, he can go high and flat, knows that he can't swing as hard as he can into that block. A very smart play by Wildman.
Wildman, the 6'5" graduate student out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. No easy buckets athlete. Good pass in. Jasper from the end line. And he scores again for Pepperdine.
Keep it going right now. He only has 1 error. We saw that error a couple of points ago, but might as well keep running it to him. He can side out. He can score for them.
So Dvorak serving down by 2. Good serve in, but a better pass, and in system it's Wildman scoring again. So he's starting to get activated here in set number 2.
He's warming up a little bit. Looks so comfortable passing the ball. Easy with his approach. Hits that ball high and deep where the defense isn't.
And what stands out to me from Wildman is that all 3 of his last attacks have been different power, different placement. Great vision by the outside hitter as well. Overpass, Steele gets the dig. Deluzio sends it over. And Owen Rose cleans it up for Penn State with that point through the middle.
Penn State rolling right now. Service pressure, getting Pepperdine in trouble, forcing some free balls over, easy plays over the net, and they're able to run their offense very comfortably right now.
Now down by 4, Pepperdine decides to call a fairly early timeout here in set number 2 to talk it over.
As you know, in these games, you can't let a stretch of points, you can't let it get too far away from you. 4 points, that's a big gap. And if they can continue to go on serving runs, Penn State, as they have been, they need to be able to slow this down, neutralize it a little bit, side out, so they can get their own point scoring.
Now, clearly Penn State has the stranglehold on that momentum like you talked about, and it has grown purely from the inline. That service pressure leading to a couple of aces, some quick points, getting Pepperdine out of system. Really testing the serve reception for the Pepperdine Waves at the moment. And one other thing that's not helping the cause for Pepperdine is that Brett Wildman has come alive here in set number 2 for Penn State.
And that can be a big difference. Like I said early on, maybe they just weren't getting him the ball. They let him get back in the match. Just let him pass right now. And remember, Penn State's missing another big player in Cal Fisher, who is one of their top players, certainly from the end line, what he can do in the opposite position. But right now, they were happy with what they've seen last weekend with other players stepping up and filling in roles for Wildman, for Fisher.
And that's a very important thing, as we see here, John Kerr leading all scorers. But if someone gets hurt throughout this season, this is a long season in men's volleyball. January, these teams come back together right after the holidays, a few weeks of practice, and then it's a grind.
Yeah.
January, February, March, part of April until you're into the playoffs, and then the Final Four in early May. So good opportunity for some other players as Bogner gets ready to get us back to action, but opportunities for players to step in and get some good experience early on in the season. comes Jasper from the left side, and his attack is wide. So another error for Pepperdine gives the point to Penn State. It's a good test right now for Pepperdine to see how they respond. You know, Coach Winders paying attention, examining that stat sheet over there. Basically comes down to passing, and that doesn't help the cause either. Another service ace for Cowell. No, that was Bogner that time.
Well, that one is right in the seam on the right side of the outside hitter. That's what you want to do. Force them to cheat a little bit, start taking off. That was Steele, right between Steele and Cole.
Always want to target those seams, like you said, the seams between the serve receivers with your jump serve here. Bogner that time, that toss just too far out in front of him, and his serve catches the net. Pepperdine gets a little relief after that service error. So DeLuzio now looking to get the momentum over to his side, but not yet as his serve goes into the net. That doesn't help the cause for the Waves there. So.
No, it doesn't, and he didn't really put a lot on it too. I think he tried to take something off of it and still groove that one into the net.
You know, there is such things as good misses and bad misses. That was a bad miss. A good miss is usually one that goes out through the inline. Make the other team at least think about passing it. And there's another service ace for Penn State. This time from Wildman, going with the off speed.
Changing it up a little bit, and you watch the serve receive pattern. They're back, they're deep into the court, expecting that ball to be ripped hard, and then he takes a little bit off of it, drops right in front of everyone.
And Penn State running away here in set number 2, forces Pepperdine to call their second timeout. Down by 7 points now. So let's talk about that serve really quick that Wildman just hit. That off speed, almost a bit of a roll shot, but it's got some good pace behind it still.
It's got pace, and then it just kind of sinks in front of you. He hits it so high and gets so much spin on it that it drops. It doesn't just come at you, an easy ball, looks like it might be an easy ball. No, it drops right in front of you again, especially when you're expecting it to come hard. He's going on his full approach. It looks the same as when he rips it, and then it falls in front of you. That's hard. That's hard to do.
The ability to disguise what serve you're going to hit, right, with your approach, your arm swing, the motion, and then right at the moment of contact, you either, like you said, you're hitting it hard, you're going after it, or you're just flicking the wrist and resulting in that roll shot that drops in front of the libero. Pepperdine's going to make a substitution. Coming into the game will be Brendan Reed, number 4 in white, a 6'3" redshirt freshman, getting an opportunity for some court time here. He's replacing DeLuzio. He'll be in there for his passing prowesses, I'm sure. Trying to help Pepperdine get in system once again, which they haven't been for a little while now. You have to expect Wildman will target the new addition. Goes aggressive, but misses that time. Hakeem Woomy steps up to the inline with his team down by 6 points. Pepperdine trying to create some momentum here in set number 2 before it gets away from them. Bogner, high ball to the left side, dug up by Dvorak, but it hits the net outside the antenna, and that's out of play. Penn State takes the point.
I tried to make that play. If it was just inside the pin, that would be a different story, but it hit the ball between the antenna and the end of the net.
Owen Rose with the high toss jump serve, goes with the roll shot, overpass from Reed. Counterattack from the left side. John Kerr gets a nice fortuitous bounce off the net and finds the open court for their 18th point.
Yeah, and Penn State mixing up the serving, hard and deep, short in the middle of the court. You can see how deep, again, look at Pepperdine's serve receive pattern. They're pretty deep into the court. see if they take a step up or hang back there, wait for the deep one.
Rose goes strong. Good pass in. Left side attack to Steele. A little out of system on the timing, but gets creative and still finds the point.
Steele very good at handling that ball. He was hanging in the air. It was a little bit higher than he was expecting. He came in for a little bit faster approach. He was able to make something of it.
Jalen Jasper now. Went on a nice run at the end of set number 1. Let's see if he can make it happen again here. This team definitely needs it. Kerr from the right side blocked, but covered by Wildman. Ezionu once again through the middle. Scores the point. Dvorak doesn't like it, thinks that was a throw, but the point's going to stay with Penn State.
Sometimes when you throw that ball down, just kind of from one direction to the other, and so you got some space though. There's a lot of room to work with in the middle of the court.
John Kerr with that two-handed toss goes to the hybrid pass, well by Reed, and here's Jasper from the back row. He sneaks it through the block and down.
It's been so effective for Pepperdine. Again, when he's in the back row, I mean, the efficiency, I don't have those numbers of what he's hitting out of the back row. It's extremely high right now, and he's been able to sneak it through the block, hit it deep into the corners as well.
Ryan Barnett comes into the game for Jacob Steele to serve. 6'5", redshirt freshman gets aggressive from the inline. Nice set through the middle, picked up by Jasper, but it goes over. No net violation called just yet, and Wildman scores. No, sorry, that was Cowell off the block and down.
Yeah. Saw the net bouncing a little bit. Everybody saw it. Nobody called it, but Penn State ended up with the point anyway.
Good wherewithal and fortitude by Penn State to stay focused on the play. As Cowell goes to the inline now, 20 serving 12. Attacking the seams, Jasper steps into set over to Reed, who's in the front row. Dig gets back over. Dvorak against the flow to Jasper with nobody up, and he misses long through the inline. Missed opportunity that time for Pepperdine.
Beautiful set by Dvorak. He goes up like he's going to attack. Maybe he's going to run something. Gets Jasper one on none. He misses that one deep. He'll set him again.
Hopefully Jasper has quick memory loss of that one as Reed puts the good pass in. And Fuller through the middle. Great deflection. Tracked down by Kerr. Wildman down the line gets dug. Jasper again from the back row. Dig, but it goes out of play. Wildman can't track it down as we get a little action as well. You were there for that one.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Nice transition play by Pepperdine. Coach Winder was saying they've got to win the transition game. They've been good in transition the first weekend, first stretch of this season, but he knows they've got to be good in trans against Penn State.
Fuller through the back row, serves, passed well, but that attack goes out of play, and finally a hitting error from Penn State gives the point to Pepperdine.
And that's that balance we talked about earlier on. Coach Pavlik lets them rip that serve, but they have to be measured in what they're doing attacking-wise. And they're very, very efficient. Low error.
Bogner coming out of position 4 now. Front row setter. He goes to Ezionu, gets controlled and dug. Dvorak will attack, and he goes high off the hands of Wildman and Ezionu to score.
Dvorak showing some fire there. Smart player. Sees the block. Knows he can tool off of it immediately when he gets set.
And is that the spark that Pepperdine needs? Dvorak on offense forces Penn State to call a pretty early timeout, still up by 6, so Pavlik just trying to squash any of this early momentum that Pepperdine is building.
Two very attractive people here. These are our live feed people on volleyballworld.tv.
Getting a visit from our on-court MC, Rob on the mic once again. Feels like he wants to pick out us courtside here.
Little distracting, Rob. I don't know what he's saying right now.
I'm not listening to Rob either, but he loves the camera and the microphone, so.
I feel like I'm getting better than just sitting here.
We're just trying to call a game here. Rob is just distracting us.
Good follow on social media, Instagram. Shout out to Rob on the mic. Also does color commentary and play-by-play for UC Irvine Volleyball, the Big West.
FPCC
He's the best. He's the best in-house. He's the best at getting the crowd going, and absolutely love working with him.
Rob's a fun one for sure. No one, never shy of a camera or a microphone is Rob on the mic.
What just happened?
I don't know. I blacked out for a second. I was just trying to talk. So Penn State calls their first timeout. They've got a 6-point advantage as we get back to focus here in set number 2 after that little brief annoyance,
I don't know,
if you will. But Fuller with the serve and an overpass. And Lomi takes care of it right there.
We've seen the momentum shift at times before. They can go on a little bit of a serving run here.
So Pepperdine getting some more momentum now. Fuller will serve again. Out of system, Penn State. Here comes a high ball to Wildman. Blocked and down. Pepperdine with another real point off of the serve. And it's now 17 serving 21.
And Fuller with that jump flow. This is a tough serve, forcing Penn State 2 bad situations here. Hard to track. It's got a lot of action on it. Serves it deep.
And that time just too deep as Fuller misses through the inline. Toby Ezionu, errorless on the night for Penn State at the inline now. Goes with that hybrid. Passed well, though. Blocked and covered. Second chance. Dvorak aggressively goes for the attack on 2, but misses wide.
He's pushed all the way over past that half of the court, still going sharp into that angle, and runs out of real estate there.
Dvorak trying to get more involved on the offensive side for Pepperdine, but perhaps one too many times now as Penn State just 2 points away from taking the set. Nice defense by Wildman. High ball over to Reed, and Reed finds the seam to score, that time from the back row.
Reed flying in out of the back row. Some incredibly athletic plays by Dvorak. So smart and cagey at the net, but just can't get it going for his team right now.
That was John Kerr with the point for Penn State, and it's set point opportunity number 1. Jasper from the back row, deflected up. Lost track of the ball. Wildman tried to save it, but ran into the pole support system. So Pepperdine fights off that first set point. Still down by 6 with Dvorak stepping up to the inline now. Still set point, Penn State. Good strong serve, passed well through the middle, blocked back but covered. Another quick attack. Owen Rose this time scores off the block. And Penn State takes set number 2 on that point, 25-18. They lead the match 2-0. Salima, it could be fair to say that the end of set number 1 for Pepperdine, the letdown of not closing it out, perhaps carried over into set number 2. Meanwhile, Penn State just kept their foot on the gas.
Well, and that's what happens at times when you have it, you feel like it's there, you're in control of it, and then it gets away from you. How do you come back? How do you respond? And what you saw Penn State do is they won that set, and they just kept going, and like you said, foot on the gas. So yes, absolutely carried over, but there's a lot of match left. It's been close. This can be an absolutely a 5-setter, and take a look at the stats. Pepperdine with 18 points in the last set. Penn State with 25 points in the last set. 30 kills for Penn State, 25 for Pepperdine. 20 errors on the side of Pepperdine and 16 on the side of Penn State. So you see some glaring differences that make the difference there. And before the last time out, we had Penn State siding out at almost 70%. They were at 69% side out, point scoring at 42%, while Pepperdine was at 57 and 30. So we'll see the final stats coming out at the end of the set. But that was a huge difference. Penn State putting pressure from the service line, and they were able to handle the ball. every time Pepperdine was serving. So they were passing well and serving well and getting their offense going.
Well, Penn State and Pepperdine, they battled it out in set number 1. That was a deuce game that went into overtime, 26-24, and Penn State, obviously, they came from behind to take that one. Clearly, like we talked about, momentum carried over into set 2 for them. As you expect to see a well-coached team by Mark Pavlik keep their foot on the gas, not give their opponent any opportunities to get back into it. Meanwhile, for Pepperdine, they threw in a couple other people. They made some substitutions, a couple of uncharacteristic hitting errors by Jalen Jasper as that match went on. What does Pepperdine have to do now, Salima, to try to level the playing field a little bit and, at best, hope pull off a reverse sweep here, because they got to win the next 3 sets to take the match?
Well, of course, they have to be able to handle the tough serving from Penn State, and again, getting that anywhere around the 10-foot line, because you know Dvorak can run his offense. He can get the middles involved. If it's just high in the middle of the court, he can still get it going. If it starts spraying from side to side, that's when they become one-dimensional. That's when he can only set one person. That's trouble for them. And then they've got to right the ship from the service line. They have people that can get after it, and then they have people that can spot serve. So they have to do their jobs. And if they can do that well, then they're right in this.
Yeah, you said it. Just a few too many service errors coupled with a few too many attack errors there in set number 2, which gave Penn State that nice advantage midway through the set that they never really relinquished or gave up, and took control of set number 2 through the finish line there. So both teams back out onto the court here to start set number 3. One change in the lineup for Pepperdine. Number 4 staying in, Brendan Reed, the 6'3" redshirt freshman from Newport, California, gets the start in the outside hitter position, replacing DeLuzio. Meanwhile, for Penn State, no changes in their personnel, no surprise there. So we'll see if that's a bit of a roll of the dice or a very strategic move by Coach Jonathan Winder.
Reed's played a little bit this season. He's got 8 kills on the year, played in 4 sets, but this is another opportunity for him to come in and steady things out for this team.
Set number 3, getting ready to get underway here. Cole Bogner, the setter for Penn State, will start us off here at the First Point Volleyball Foundation Collegiate Challenge, 2nd annual event in Austin, Texas. Bogner with the aggressive serve down the line at Steele, but Steele comes right back with an aggressive swing that goes over the block and down for the point.
That's a big block to go over. I mean, Kerr's up there, and he went over the top of that big block on the right side of the court.
Macon Woomy now, first server for Pepperdine. Looking to get them started off on the right foot following that first side out. Serve catches the tape, but it's passed well. Kerr goes high, but misses. No touch called. John Kerr with the hitting error here to open up set number 3.
Might get a challenge, maybe. Coach Pavlik has it in his hand, asking his players.
Pavlik peering across the court through those glasses, looking for some advice from his players, but ultimately deciding to hold off on that challenge. He's seen a lot of volleyball in his day. Another serve off the tape, pass well. Wildman from the right side gets blocked but covered. Quick attack in transition. What a connection there. Bogner to Rose for the point.
It's a fast 31 attack, stretching the block a little bit, finding the gaps between the middle blocker and the right side blocker for his middle.
That was a high-level play right there that could offer some separation for Penn State as Wildman serves now. Takes a little off, goes to Reed. Here comes Jasper from the back row. Picked up. Cole going off speed with the tip. Finds the open space in the block, shows his own creativity to score that time.
That was a smart play. A dig that turned into something very smart on the side of Penn State.
And if Wildman can get on a service run here very early for Penn State, that could spell disaster for the Waves. Good pass from Steele. Jasper out of the back row again. Down the line. Wildman can chase it down. And a free ball to Pepperdine. Jump set to Jasper, this time with nobody up, and he hammers that one. Wow.
Night. I mean, there is nothing you can do about that. Another Dvorak moving it around, showing one thing, doing another, getting everybody to jump.
Jasper attacked that ball from the back row, but bounced it as if he was a front row attacker. What a swing by Jalen Jasper right there. A few extra words here spoken to our down ref. Not too sure what the topic is of conversation, but Dvorak will serve for Pepperdine now. Is that the momentum, perhaps, spark that Pepperdine needs? But Dvorak then follows it up with an unfortunate service error.
Yeah, that'll slow it down a little bit. He tried to change it up and hit that ball short. And couldn't even clear the net.
Owen Rose now at the inline for Penn State. Tied up at threes here in set number 3. Passed well. Left side set to Jasper. Recycled. Second chance. High over the block, it's Doug. Cowell from the left side. He gets the touch on the block. And Penn State will take the point.
Smart swing. He knew as soon as he hit the ball, he was going after the hands. That high out of system set. That's what you've got to do at this game. When the block is there, 4 hands in front of you, got to go high hands.
The junior outside hitter at 6'2", getting creative with his attacking points and lines. High off the hands that time. Serve goes into the net. So Jacob Steele will serve for Pepperdine, tied up at 4 now. Good serve, but a better pass in system. Penn State, John Kerr turns that one down the smaller blocker of Reed, and he scores the point. Just a height advantage that time for Penn State, resulting in an easy side out. Steele with a good pass. Here's Jasper from the right. Controlled. Cowell again just goes a little off speed that time. Chance for Pepperdine. Fuller with the wrist away scores in transition.
Really nice play in transition by Pepperdine with the middle attack. Penn State putting pressure, but the service pressure is a little bit different right now. Pepperdine passing a little bit better. Penn State not ripping them quite as hard. It's early in the set. A little bit of a difference.
Bogner from the 10-foot line goes overhead to Kerr, who puts that one down for the point.
Bogner doing a phenomenal job running the offense, just moving the ball around, getting just a little bit of separation on both sides of the court.
A lot of weapons on the Penn State side that Bogner can utilize. So Pepperdine showing a little creativity that time with their offense as well, as Woomy tips the ball over the block into that open space.
Smart play. When you don't have a perfect swing, that spot is always open, right over top of the middle blocker. It's very difficult for the defenders to get underneath the ball.
Jasper misses his serve into the net, so service errors continuing to plague Pepperdine now. Ezeonu now steps up to the end line. Goes through his pre-service routine. Two-handed toss jump hybrid right at Steele. Here comes Jasper. Cross court off the tape. Changes the speed up a little bit and gets that ball to drop.
You can see that clean kill from where I'm sitting on that side of the court. He comes in at that sharp angle. And the defender may have been just a little bit too far inside the block on that one.
His attack caught the top of the net, perhaps changing the trajectory just enough. Catch the defender off balance. Tied at 7s here. Reed with the off-speed jump serve. Passed by Rose. Wildman goes high off the hands. What a run down there by the libero. Here's Steele. Block. Jasper with the diving save. Steele again, second chance. Gets dug. Rose with the bump set to Wildman. And Wildman, what a swing by Brett Wildman to score, making something out of nothing once again, Salima.
Pepperdine with 2 amazing defensive plays. Cole laying out, Jasper laying out for it, but Penn State finding a way in the end. That's what their experienced veteran making the play at the end of it.
Penn State counterattack is just 1 to 2 levels more aggressive than Pepperdine's at the moment. Bogner misses that serve into the net, so Pepperdine off the hook that time. And Woomy now at the inline, wearing number 25 in white. Rancho Palos Verdes, California. The 6'5 senior goes aggressive and he misses long. So back-to-back service errors from Pepperdine, and that's something that Jonathan Winder's club just can't afford right now. Especially when Penn State's next server is Brett Wildman.
Yes.
Wildman, good summer with the USA Youth National Team or Collegiate National Team. Steele gets stuffed down, a nice 3-man block by Penn State.
Being able to get in there on the triple block, get it closed, be strong with your left hand. I mean, that was the key to that block right there.
Jacob Steele had nowhere to go that time. Shoulder to shoulder, 6 hands in front of him, Penn State reaping the rewards of hard work on their block and defense. Off speed that time, but well past Dvorak. Goes on 2, and then a little extra communication through the net there to Penn State.
He definitely shows his fire, gets his kill, and tries to get some emotion going for his team.
Now let's see if he can make his serve over the net this time. And he does. Good aggressive serve, but well passed. And there's a net violation against Owen Rose after the attack, the follow through.
It was a tight pass, it was a tight set, and everything was just right on the net, and he couldn't work his way out of it.
Bad break that time for Penn State, but good service pressure here from Dvorak.
Absolutely.
Kerr goes over the block, and Dvorak can't get that dig. Penn State comes right back with the point.
Pepperdine will take that. Point scoring, 1 point. If they can go back there, rip one, get something going, get Penn State off the net and score real points, and then go on a couple of runs.
Owen Rose now. He's had a nice match through the middle for Penn State. Good serve, but a better pass. Steele from the right side. Gets the attack down the line, something we haven't seen. So a new wrinkle there in the Pepperdine offense.
It's a beautiful set. It's lined up nicely for him. He gets on it high and fast down the line. That up and down ball that he likes to get on really hits it at a high contact.
Steele's chance to serve, the 6'8 redshirt junior. He's going to get a service ace off of Wildman. Cowell with a good effort, but can't track it down. And Jacob Steele gets Pepperdine their first service ace of the set.
Pepperdine definitely serving more aggressively, getting some more offense going, forcing Penn State off the net. A little bit of a change of tide a little bit from that last set.
So Pepperdine with the lead here. Serve goes off the tape, picked up. Kerr just sets it over with a little no look. And Reed on the counterattack hits the antenna. And Penn State saves the point.
Yeah, and they want to run it fast. They want to get it going. When they have a free ball, they want to really stress the block of the defense. And unfortunately, hit that one outside on the antenna.
John Kerr, the 6'6 opposite senior, Goes with the off-speed serve. Here's Jasper from the right side. He misses wide, but I think we're going to get a quick challenge now from head coach Jonathan Winder. He was right to the card that time, Salima. Could you see if the ball was in?
No, I couldn't tell.
Clarification that the challenge is requested for in-out. Ball was called out.
Right.
Winder thinks it was in and caught the line.
Yeah, it was hard for us to see. We're kind of behind the R2, so it's a really difficult angle to see that sideline. But again, that started with the serve, getting the left side passer on the floor. Everybody knows where the ball's going back to Jasper. And he had two big blockers in front of him, had to hit it sharp inside the block. And that's the question. Did he hit it just a little too sharp, or did he catch the line?
Well, his point of contact and where he was in relation to the net, he was a little bit off, kind of overran his approach. Based on physics, you would think that the ball was out, but we're going to get an overrule. So a good, successful challenge there from Coach Winder. And the point will go to Pepperdine.
A big point for them.
Anderson Fuller now. Preparing to serve. (13 serving 12). Pepperdine in front by 1. Penn State through the middle, blocked and covered. Second chance, Ezionu blocked and covered again. Kerr from the back row, good deflection, Steele with the dig. Jasper from the right side, but he misses wide. Penn State will take that point.
Pepperdine put themselves in a really good position. Started with Jasper coming in on that 31 with the block. Then they ran the middle again. They had another block touch. Unfortunate, unforced error on the side of Jasper.
Tied up at 13 now here in set number 3. Cowell with a high toss. Aggressive jump serve at Reed, but a great pass. Jasper with a hard angle against Wildman, and he scores.
How about Reed handling that serve so well? Right in his lap, puts it right on the money. That is all Reed right there.
Jasper prepares, up by 1. Goes with that hybrid jump float, passed well. Big attack. Cowell Cowell misses. It's a backcourt violation by the outside hitter. Pepperdine up by 2. Unfortunate, there was a touch off the libero, but that 3-meter line violation being called against Penn State on that big attack. It's one of the risks that you run when you utilize that play, and unfortunately it goes against Penn State that time.
We haven't seen it a ton out of the middle of the court for them. They've been running a lot out of the right side area of the court, and getting that going is going to just put a little bit more strain on the Pepperdine block. But like you said, it's so fast, so quick. You can just clip that line, you're going to be called for over.
And that's a very touchy play to run this early in the season. You want to be in sync with your setter. Obviously, Bogner and Cowell, they've been practicing it. And an error like that early on in the season is something that I'm sure Coach Pavlik can be like, look, this is a great opportunity to run it. If we're in April, this needs to be a kill. Right? You need to be clean every single time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But meanwhile, for Pepperdine, they've got their largest lead of the set. They're up by 2 here, halfway through the set during this media timeout, 15-13. Even though they haven't played the cleanest volleyball, they've been able to build a 2-point advantage and see if they can ride it out the rest of the way here in set number 3.
Well, you can see the difference. It's really apparent that having Reed in the game has made a big difference, passing-wise, just holding things down. Dvorak's getting going, getting his team fired up right now. Their serving has been really good this set. A lot more pressure on the side, getting Penn State a little bit more off the net.
So back to it now with Jasper at the inline for Pepperdine. Good pace on that one, but it doesn't get the bounce. Comes back on Pepperdine's side for a service error. It's now Penn State down by 1, 14 serving 15. Toby Ezionu at the inline. And there's a great jump float serve from the middle blocker. Gets the service ace off of Jacob Steele.
It's a tough one. You want to let it go, then you're not sure. You can't get out of the way of the ball.
I mean, that was a nasty knuckleball jump float serve right there. That time Pepperdine gets the side out. And they retain that 1-point advantage. Reed at the inline. Strong jump serve. Pass well by Wildman. From the left side, Wildman gets dug. Jasper has to set. Steele well off the net gets dug. Ball comes over. Steele attacks the overpass, and that one works out nicely for Pepperdine. Steele says thank you very much.
He sure does. That's an assist on the side of Penn State, getting the ball all the way over the net. Steele comes away with it.
Reed again now, back to a 2-point advantage. Goes with the off speed. Pass by Rose, and Owen Rose shows that he can pass and then attack for the point. I'd love to see that as a middle blocker getting a good pass attempt there.
Just a little bit of a drift past the middle blocker. It's not straight up in the air where the block is. He pushes it just past the block, and Rose takes advantage of it.
Bogner now with a good serve. Good block back, but a nice cover. Pepperdine second chance. Tight set to Steele. Able to save it, but Jasper's just going to free ball it over. Advantage Penn State. John Kerr goes high off the hands to score. And that has been a big differentiation between these two teams, as Penn State's counterattack has just been a little crisper throughout this match than Pepperdine's.
That really has been, and that was one thing that I mentioned earlier John Winder was concerned about. He said we have to win those transition games, extend the rallies. Let's see if we can outlast them and really play at a high level in a transition, but that's been Penn State's advantage right now.
Nice dig by the Penn State defenseman, but another dig from Pepperdine. Chance for Steele here. Libero's trading digs in this rally, but Pepperdine will take the point. Merck and Cole both doing a good job on defense, but finally that point going in favor of Pepperdine. Woomy at the inline, going to be aggressive here. Running set, John Kerr from the left, and he gets it through and down for the point. Penn State tying it up at 18 points now.
Kerr has been so effective from everywhere on the net for Penn State.
So Wildman steps up, looking to take advantage of the opportunity here now. Tied at 18 all here in set 3. See if he can go on a run from the service line. Another nice pass from Reed. Jasper out of the back row. Wow, look out below. Talk about denting the floor, Salima. Jalen Jasper.
Like there's not even a block in front of him. I mean, that was as if no one even jumped.
And from the back row. Fuller attacking the overpass. Pepperdine gets a nice point here in the first to 20 in set number 3.
Dvorak so effective from the service line this set. He's been ripping serves, getting Penn State off the net, and really putting that pressure on them to point score in his rotations.
Well, and that pressure that Pepperdine has placed against has made a nice addition here. Jalen Jasper, when he keeps the ball in play, scoring for the Waves. And a little bit of pressure by Pepperdine. That's the response you would want to see from your team, being down 0-2. They've got nothing to lose. You just got to come out and swing for the fences a little bit.
Absolutely. And again, the passing has been a lot better for Pepperdine, and Penn State's serving wasn't as off the charts. It doesn't look as aggressive, as hard as it's been, and I say that cautiously because they've ripped a few, but Pepperdine's handled them well as well. So that's a big difference in this set than what we've seen in the first two.
Bryce Dvorak, the next server for Pepperdine, has also been a spark plug here for his side in set number 3. So it's 20 serving 18 now. Dvorak, the lefty, gets the service ace right on cue. Finds the seam between Merck and Cowell for the service ace, his first one of the match. 21 serving 18. Another good serve. Out of system for Penn State. Kerr, high hands. Reed gets the dig. Steele with a chance against 3 blockers, but Kerr shuts it down.
Kerr completely over the net, surrounding the ball. Again, nowhere to go on that high out of system set.
Now the 3-man blocking of Penn State has proved to be very strong throughout this match, that time getting a key block point for them. And now Gabe Hartke will serve, number 10 coming in. Intense moment for Penn State. Quick attack to Fuller. Izionu got a nice deflection, but Bogner couldn't track it down. Pepperdine will take the point. Steele now serving. 22-19. Pepperdine looking to close out set number 3 here. Good pass in. Izionu, good deflection, picked up. Chance for Jasper. One-on-one, Jasper goes cross court and wins it that time.
A great block touch by Fuller on that middle attack, slowed everything down, gave Jasper that opportunity to swing one-on-one on the right side.
Coach Pavlik decides to use his second timeout with his team down by 4 points now in set number 3, trying to slow the momentum. Get the Pepperdine players to think about it a little bit longer before their next serve.
They're definitely just playing with some energy, with just letting it go a little bit right now, Pepperdine. Pushing it right now and getting on it.
Yeah, momentum clearly on Pepperdine's side right now, and I like this timeout called by Coach Pavlik as we look over to their huddle. Associate head coach Colin McMillan, former middle blocker at Ohio State, giving some good input to his team. But really for them, they just have to kind of weather this storm, right? We've seen them come back from behind like they did in set number 1. They're never out of it, right? And keeping the pressure on Pepperdine from the inline. But what they really have to do is their blocking defense has got to come alive and try to figure out how to stop Jalen Jasper.
That's exactly right. And even if you can slow him down a little bit, take the edge off just a little bit, because he's such a difference maker. But for them, it's doing what they do well. They're calm, they're poised, they're mature, and they have to just continue to play steady.
And as much as a terminal block would be great for Penn State, they just need to get a deflection.
Right.
The matchup right now is Jalen Jasper attacking against Cowell, so height advantage obviously on Pepperdine's side.
Right.
But Penn State has got to be able to adjust their defense and try to get that dig from Jasper's attack. Back to it now. Pepperdine 2 points away from taking the set. Jacob Steele with some work to do from the inline now. Good strong jump serve. Gets Penn State out of system. Over to Kerr. Nice deflection. Here's a chance for Pepperdine. Jasper from the left side. Can't be stopped. Gets the point, and Pepperdine is now at set point.
Another good deflection at the net, slowing the ball down. That's where they've been very good this set, keeping that ball in play, giving themselves another chance to score.
So set point opportunity number 1 for Pepperdine here. Steele with the serve. Overpass. And Jasper cleans it up with that two-handed throwdown. And Pepperdine takes it. 25-19 victory for Pepperdine in set number 3. We're going to get more volleyball, Salima.
I love it. I'll take more volleyball. Well, Pepperdine came alive after being down in a big hole in that second set. They really had to crawl their way back, try to find some energy and momentum in set 2, and they found it here in set 3. I mean, that was a different team. You saw a different energy, different level of focus, and they were way more aggressive in that set.
Yeah, it was tied up at 13-all in set number 3, and then Pepperdine just turned on the afterburners a little bit there and pulled away, but didn't relinquish the lead, which is a huge key for Jonathan Winder's team, as they did in set number 1, where they served twice at set point. This time, they reached set point, they scored on the first one, took the set.
Well, that's big. That's what you're looking for as a coach. You want to see how your teams respond. How are they under pressure? What are they going to look like? What do you say? What do you say between set 2 and 3 in the timeouts? And what resonates with them? And it's cool to see that develop, but it's nice to watch the players do it themselves. You saw Steele do it. You saw Dvorak. You're watching Jasper. So just how they're interacting with one another, you want them to do it. You want them to lead that charge on their own. And that's what I think we saw there.
And the addition of Brendan Reed onto the starting group for set number 3, clearly in there for his passing skills. Didn't get a lot of opportunities on the attacking side of the ball, but definitely kept Pepperdine in system with his passing. And on the other side of the net, Salima, Penn State not necessarily played a bad set, but just couldn't counteract that response and pressure from Pepperdine.
Right. I mean, that was it. Pepperdine was scoring. They were getting one-on-ones. They were putting them in some situations where they were getting easier balls back. So all of those things, those small things end up being huge if you have an easy play, if you have a setter that can get you one-on-one, and that's what you were seeing on the side of Pepperdine. And with the attackers they have, it's hard to stop them. It's hard to slow them down. You talked about some of the matchup issues Penn State had as well. So those were a huge advantage for Pepperdine. And Penn State, maybe they'll spin the dial a little bit here. Not sure. I think Pepperdine will come out the same way. He likes that serving rotation, how they have tough servers in a row. But we'll see if Penn State moves a little bit to try to change some things.
That's definitely the strategy that the coaches have to employ now, is what rotation do they start in, and do they spin the dial? Because for Penn State, they probably need to make a change in their starting rotation versus especially Jalen Jasper's offense.
Right. And it's hard, too, when Jasper is effective at the net and he's effective out of the back row. So now you're kind of like, all right, well, which is worse? And they have it on the bench. How is he siding out in those rotations? Where are we in every rotation versus theirs? And that's what you're looking at. All right, let's see if we can match this up just a little bit better and take the edge off of what they're doing.
Well, good response by Pepperdine. Good coaching by Jonathan Winder to get them to take set number 3 as the teams are back out on the court now, getting ready to start set number 4. Penn State, no changes to their personnel. Pepperdine, no changes to their side either. So expect just another back and forth battle here early on. Or will Pepperdine come out of the gates fast, just like they finished set number 3? Here we go, getting ready to start set number 4. Woomy will get us underway. Aggressive serve, but a nice pass from Wildman. Kerr out of the back row. It's picked up, played over. Free ball back to Penn State. Big attack. Misses long, so Pepperdine scores the opening point. Good scramble play there by Pepperdine.
Penn State thinks this one might be in.
Wow, very early challenge coming in from Coach Pavlik on the in-out of that attack. So that'll be an interesting one here.
You know, and that's a very good point. It's 1-0 right now in this set. If you're sure,
you've got to be pretty confident that you're going to win the point to use a challenge at this stage of the set. Because if you lose the challenge, you don't get it back.
No, you don't get it back. So that's a tough one, but we'll see. I mean, You know, they're running that big attack like you talked about. They want to get it going, trying to find some rhythm with it. And it looked comfortable, looked good. Everything was on time. It looked like it was just a little bit out. Hard to say from our seat, but we'll see.
R3 official reviewing the video challenge system there behind the officiating table. Great crowd on hand here in Austin, Texas. 250 junior club volleyball teams participating in a club tournament going on in the same facility as this First Point Volleyball Foundation Collegiate Challenge. So, in fact, the challenge is won by Penn State, and Mark Pavlik showing that he's still got some good eyes behind those glasses.
I know. He's got better eyes than I do, because I had no idea.
So Penn State will take the point, and they'll retain that challenge in case they need to use it again. Off the net pass from Steele, gets the set right back, and once again the three-man block of Penn State proves to be too much. Wildman that time with the block point.
He got it. Steele was going hard into that angle, but again, that serve went straight to him right in that seam, forced him off the net just a little bit to create that and give them an opportunity to get a triple block.
Bogner at the inline again now for Penn State, the setter. He misses long that time. So Pepperdine is on the board after that service error as Dvorak now steps up with that lefty jump serve. Can't get it over the net that time. So an early advantage for Penn State now as Wildman steps back. 3 serving 1. Leading the match 2-1 over Pepperdine. High toss, real aggressive serve, but a nice pass. Steele gets blocked one-on-one. It's Cowell that time there for the block point.
They were running a little quick in a back two, a fast play there. And he was right there, prepared for it, ready for it, got completely surrounded the ball.
Bit of an overload on that side of the court, but Cowell doing a nice job getting his hands up and over. And it's 4-1 Penn State. Wildman hammers that serve into the net. And it'll be Steele at the inline now for Pepperdine. Goes to that high toss. Get some good pace on it, but passed well. And Cowell again with the smart attack. Cross court. Over the block and down for the point.
Took a little bit off of it, kind of took inventory of where he wanted to go with the ball and just hit it right in the middle back, nice and easy.
Well placed, gets his team the side out and the point. Now a 3-point advantage. Let's see what Rose can do now with his service attempt. Catches the tape, another perfect pass from Reed, gets the set, but there's going to be a net violation on Brandon Reed after the attack. That's an unfortunate hitting error for Pepperdine.
Yeah, that set was a little bit tight to the net and fast, and he wanted to just throw it down and clip the top of the tape.
Now Brendan Reed at 6'3" has to utilize that fast tempo set, but that time just a little bit too tight, like you said. Comes back with a good pass. Set goes to Jasper. Blocked and covered. Reed off speed, gets dug by Rose. Here's Wildman out of the back row, catches the shoulder of Trey Cole and scores the point.
Penn State running some gaps there, moving the ball around now in the middle of the court, and that was just between left side and the middle of the court, so really trying to utilize some gaps there right now with the block.
So Penn State up by 5, 7-2, forces Pepperdine to call their first timeout early on here in set number 4, and really Penn State playing aggressive, but let's not forget, that early challenge by Coach Pavlik really set the tone here for his team in set number 4.
You're not wrong, because they were up. Pepperdine was up 1-0. It was early. And, hey, you know what? He got it right, and they got another point.
So even the coaches can score a point here and there and help the momentum
We're
for
good
their
at
side.
that. We can do stuff.
Well, the block and defense, especially the 3-man blocking for Penn State, has been a huge difference maker. The last one that they got, Brett Wildman worked extra hard. He's the trail blocker, the 3rd man over. He's coming from left front all the way across, closes the seam and get that. Can you share with the audience how difficult is that to do?
It's so difficult because you're looking at your hitter, and then you have to make a move, get all the way there. It's usually the weakest part in a triple block, that 3rd blocker that's coming in. So to be there, be set, and get the block yourself is huge. And he's very good at that.
One of the advantages of service pressure from the inline gets your opponent out of system, and you can sort of not cheat, but you can take a step over and prepare to work hard for that triple block as Pepperdine makes a substitution out of that timeout. We see DeLuzio come back in, replacing Brendan Reed in that front row outside hitter position. Hasn't played since the end of set number 2. So we'll see how he is here in set 4. Good pass in, back quick. Fuller tips it over. Penn State gets the dig. And then some miscommunication. 2 guys trying to play it, but the ball doesn't clear the net.
Trey Cole with an excellent pass there to get Pepperdine going, get their offense going just a little bit. So handling that tough jump serve well.
Anderson Fuller, 6'9" junior out of New York. Good pass in. Ezionu gets deflected. Dvorak with the dig. Nice set. Here's DeLuzio. Gets blocked but covered. Chance for Jasper now. Jasper changes up his arm swing and results in a hitting error.
Trying to do something with that ball, just inside the court, off the net a little bit. Couldn't get all the way around it. And that's why he ended up missing that ball deep.
Now 8 serving 3. In favor of Penn State, looking to close the match out. As Kerr goes with that jump serve at DeLuzio. Jasper with another chance, and this time, no errors from Jalen Jasper. He goes cross court for the winner.
The rhythm's there, the tempo's there. That's exactly what he's looking for. He got to line it up perfectly, and that's when he's so effective. When that ball is high and in his wheelhouse, it's impossible to stop.
Dvorak doing a nice job of repeating Jasper. After he makes an error, he comes right back, gives him another opportunity to score the point and just move on. Good against the flow set for Penn State, but there's a hitting error. Pepperdine will take the point. This is a rotation that Penn State has somewhat struggled in. Bogner's in position 4. He's at left front in service reception. Only has 2 front row hitters. Jasper putting good pressure on from the inline. Cal with a quick set. Nice in tempo, but Dvorak is into the net. Penn State will take it.
We talked about that last rotation, especially when the ball's being passed to the left half of the court so consistently in that rotation. Trying to force it back. You saw an error. Everything gets clogged up on that side of the court in those 2-hitter rotations.
Good serve from Cowell, but a nice pass from Cole. DeLuzio has to take a little off of that one. Chance for Penn State on the counterattack. Touch is called by our Lions official. And Penn State gets the point on the board. Not the most convincing line touch called by our lineswoman, but everyone seems to be in agreement of it. Point for Penn State as Cowell continues to serve the native of Poland, gets a little help from the net and scores the trickler ace. And Pepperdine calls a timeout here, trying to slow the momentum that Penn State has built.
This set, you talked about it. How is Penn State going to come out? How are they going to respond? Is Pepperdine going to continue to put their foot on the gas? And, you know, you see this a lot early on in the season. Big swings in matches. And you know, within a set, because everyone's still trying to figure themselves out. How do they respond, and what's their identity? What are they all about right now? And who's going to lead? Who's going to step up and help lead the charge to win a match?
Now the question was, how is the Penn State response going to be after losing that third set by 6 points, I believe it was? And they have come back with a great response here to set the tone in set number 4.
They just have looked pretty calm this entire time. Not overly excited, not up, not down, just pretty level. And I think that helps at times when you have to work your way back. If your energy is consistent, then you're not too high and not too low.
And for Pepperdine, they got to find that spark that they had in set number 3 pretty quickly. They're down by 6 points now, and it could get away from them pretty fast. Wall misses that serve into the net, so Penn State lets him off the hook. So DeLuzio will serve. Extra communication from Baugner down to our R2 here. Trying to plant some seeds perhaps about out of rotations. But we're back to action now. DeLuzio goes with that high toss jump serve, and he misses through the inline. Too much on that one. But Winder,
I think it's in.
Is gonna
maybe
try to do his best Pavlik impersonation and say that serve was in. So we're gonna get a video challenge on that ball, whether it was in or out. It was called out. Winder thinks it was in.
We'll see. Gives them a little bit of time. Gives them time to continue to talk and regroup. But we'll see. I mean, it was pretty quick. He jumped up fairly quickly, so we will see if it was caught. His system is supposed to be.
I think this is good usage of the challenge for Jonathan Winder, because he may overturn it. He may be right. But if he's not right, it's like a third timeout for his team.
Absolutely, they need. You can see he's really, he had something to sell. He wanted to talk to his team. Yeah. Without question,
and you can see it right there. He's delivering a pretty strong message to his team, trying to get them to move on, maybe move on to the next point, play a little bit harder, quick change over to the next one. But the ball is confirmed out of bounds, so they lose that challenge. Point will stay over with Penn State. 12-6 now here in set number 4. Toby Ezionu gets ready to serve. Middle blocker. Good hybrid. Overpass. Dvorak with the block back, but Penn State saves it. Another dig from Cole. Jasper does his best to get it over and will play on. Wildman sets it over, dug by Steele. Cole goes outside to Dvorak again, but there's a net violation against the Penn State block. And somehow Pepperdine steals that point.
They made some plays. They got something going there, and drew Penn State into the net.
Continuing to set Dvorak in the front row. It's working. I believe he's 2 for 3. So
I know they work on it.
Another serve off the tape, pass by Wildman. John Curd blocked but covered. High ball over to the left side, into the block, covered again by Rose. Second chance, that set's too tight. It's going to be out of play. Wildman really had nothing to do with that one. That set just too wide that time.
Pepperdine getting themselves in position a couple of times, big block, getting their hands in the face of Penn State. So that whole transition game and working inside out, where they're able to really slow Penn State down a little bit and force those situations.
Pepperdine trying to put the pieces together. Here, down by 4, inching in, aggressive serve. Initially called out, but then changed her call in. And Pavlik with a quick stand-up and challenge.
He can't find the challenge card.
Coach Pavlik always seems to have a smile on his face. What is he, in his 47th year of coaching at Penn State? Something like that?
Yes. So that ball was called in, and Coach Pavlik is going to challenge it and give them a minute. And of course, you see Wildman right now kind of leading the huddle, talking to his players. That's what you talk about, these player-led teams where you really want them to grab a hold of it. That's what Coach Winder wants from his team, and we saw in the last set.
Well, very interestingly, obviously, Wildman, a fifth-year graduate student. So is Jalen Jasper for Pepperdine, also the graduate student, but only in his second season in Malibu. So, yes, he's a leader on the court, but, you know, trying to see who the leader is with that group. Right. Clearly, Wildman is that man for Penn State. Who is it for Pepperdine? Right. Is something that they're going to have to work out throughout the season. So the point will stay with Penn State. Confirm the ball is out of bounds. Pavlik perfect on the night with his challenges. Bogner will serve. Jasper out of the back row, and Wildman shuts him down with the stuff block.
Wildman got himself in a good position against Jasper. You know the ball's going to come this way, especially when they get pushed forward a little bit. They want to reverse it, give him some space to hit that ball.
Cole Bogner, another graduate student here for Penn State, 6'3" setter from Chesapeake, Virginia. Goes over to Trey Cole, good pass. Here comes Steele from the left side, goes high off the hands, finds the open court for the point.
Steele, super effective early on in this match. He's always in a good position to swing at the ball, high hands, off the hands as well. So he can get something going for them, so they're not just completely relying on Jasper.
Yeah, Jacob Steele, a little bit of the silent assassin, putting up some good numbers for Pepperdine as John Kerr from the left side that time scores the winner. Opposite hitter doing good work from both sides of the net for Penn State.
And remember, John Kerr was primarily a blocking sub in the last couple of years and playing really well right now in the opposite position and doing a nice job for Penn State.
15 serving 9 as Wildman winds up and unleashes that serve. Jasper against the triple block, kept alive. Just a free ball over. Dvorak goes back to Jasper, and Jasper goes over the block and down for the point.
So pretty, just watching Dvorak get around that ball, get himself in good position, put up perfect ball time and time again.
10 serving 15. Ryan Barnett comes in to serve. Kowal gets that ball through Jasper's block and down. Penn State will take the point. Penn State making their own substitutions now as Owen Rose will step out. And Gabe Hartke will come in to serve. 6-point advantage, looking to close this match out here in Austin, Texas. Jump serve from Hartke. Cole with the overpass. Passed up. Chance for Penn State, but Cole with another dig. Luzio gets dug by Wildman. Bogner out to Kerr. Covered. Recycled. Another chance. Izionu gets it down for the point.
Talked about that transition attack and extending those rallies, and Penn State coming up with a couple of those right now through the middle, extending this lead even more and more.
And winning those long rallies, yeah. Salim, as a bit of a dagger against Pepperdine if Penn State can keep the pressure on them now. 7-point advantage here in set number 4. Nearing the finish line. DeLuzio gets blocked. Jasper covers. Jasper on the counterattack is everywhere. Tight set, but Kerr! Wow, what a swing by John Kerr, hammering that transition counterattack past the blocker, over the block to take the point.
Wow, that was a tight set, high inside, and he's still able to get his feet there, go over the top for the kill.
Hartke, the service substitution, making a good contribution for his team. There's Fuller, who's been pretty quiet in set number 4, gets the kill through the middle.
Well, we see when they get him going or get the middles going a little bit, they get some momentum, they can score those points. Again, it's controlling the ball and being able to fire that ball in the middle of the court.
What can Fuller do from the inline here? Trying to make up some of that gap that Penn State has pulled away with, and Ezeonu gets creative with his offense. Finds a way to get the ball past the block and down for a point. Winder doesn't like it, but it was a legal play, and the point will stay with Penn State.
There's always lots of discussion on these tips, these power tips, where they contact the ball. Is it behind their head? Do they change direction of the ball?
Will Coons has come into the front row, replacing Kowal for Penn State, as John Kerr will serve now. 19-11. The pass in, overhead to Jasper, blocked up into the rafters, stays clean. Jasper dives to save it. Dvorak gets it over, but it goes out of bounds, and just an unfortunate result after a great effort from Pepperdine.
Yeah, that's a tough play. The ball hits up high, it's coming down, and trying to control that ball, and it just got away from them.
So Penn State reaches 20 here, 5 points from taking the match. Kerr has been the man for Penn State. Good serve over to DeLuzio. Jasper blocked and covered. Dvorak was there. Cole goes left side. Deflected. Kerr out of the back row with too much heat. Pepperdine can't handle it. Credit to Ryan Merck, the libero for Penn State, saving that ball and extending the rally. And once again, Penn State wins the long rally, Salima.
That's what they've been doing. They've been able to move the ball around a little bit and rely a little on Kerr as well. He's been hot for them and just finding him wherever he is right now.
A 10-point advantage. Tense moments now for Pepperdine. Kerr lets him off the hook with a service error. It's a mountain to climb right now if you're a Pepperdine fan. Fortunately, you've got Jalen Jasper serving, although he's in the back row. Penn State up by 9. Let's see if Jasper can bring his team back into it here. Pass from Wildman. Kowal came back in, gets the set, and gets the point on that cross-court winner.
And starts with a controlled ball, easy pass. One-on-one opportunity for Penn State.
22 serving 12. Mikhail Kowal, the native of Poland, at the inline for Penn State, has had quite a match himself here in this opener. Great serve, overpass. Ezeonu is blocked but covered. Wildman from the left side goes with a tip. Jasper's there. DeLuzio gets dug. The ball comes over on 2. Dvorak wants to hit but goes quick. Penn State saves it. And Ezeonu once again shows the finesse to find the open court and win the point.
Really nice play on both sides. You watch both setters doing some magic, working their magic on both sides of the net. And their hitters finding ways to score.
Now just 2 points away from taking the match is Penn State. Kowal serving once again. Aggressive toss. Good ball in. Through the middle, Akinwoma gets the point. And Pepperdine earns the side out.
And really with Pepperdine right now, they just have to find some ways to score points, get some momentum here, and get a bit of a run.
Yeah, they need a big run right now as Penn State just one side out away from match point. Out of system. Wildman has to just set it over. Chance for Pepperdine. Blocked up, covered. Penn State plays on again through the middle. And Ezeonu on the second attempt scores the point. Unfortunate turn of events that time a little bit for Pepperdine, but Ezeonu scores the point. It's now match point number 1 for Penn State. 24 serving 13. And it's just a matter of time here for Penn State as we've got a moisture on the floor we need to take care of. Don't want anyone slipping on our competition court. Penn State trying to ice their own player here a little bit at match point. Toby's been good from the inline though tonight. Not too many service errors. Hard to tell. Actually, maybe there's a little bit of blood on the court.
Yeah,
I think.
Might be. I've got the spray out, so.
So Toby Ezionu will serve. Match point number 1 for Penn State here. Looking to pull off the 4-set victory over Pepperdine. Jump float serve. Goes into the net. So first match point saved. Pepperdine will serve 14. Looking at 24 now. It's a matter of time for Penn State. Close this one out. Woomy at the inline now. Trying to pull off some magic and go on a big run. Goes with that jump serve. Nice serve, but a better pass. Wildman goes with that inside play. Dvorak is into the net, and that'll do it. Net violation against Pepperdine gives Penn State their 25th point of set number 4 and takes the match 3 sets to 1.
Well, you know, it was a fun match to watch. We thought we got what we thought we would out of this match, but Pepperdine really wasn't able to get it going in that last set and couldn't carry the momentum over as they did in set 3. Penn State just poised, calm, so much offense, and that's the thing. They can score from anywhere, and they were very good, not just inside out, but in their transition game.
Now we saw some flashes of talent and brilliance from Pepperdine. That first set going into overtime, but really the wherewithal and the experience of Penn State kind of shine through as this match progressed.
Well, and it was good to see certain players step up. Wildman back into the game for them, and he got going. We talked about that early on. You called it. You're like, he's warming up a little bit. They're starting to set him a little bit more, and the more he got going, the more confident they became and the more poised they were, and then Penn State was really able to get it going, certainly with John Kerr as
Brett
well.
Wildman, a very quiet opening set, but then turned it on. Like you said, great contributions by John Kerr, the opposite hitter. Toby Ezionu once again with a very strong match. And Pepperdine takes that battle against the 2 top 5 teams, number 4 and number 5, and a very good statement victory for them.
No, absolutely.
We'll get a quick review of statistics. Salima will step away from the table here and go get a quick courtside interview with our match MVP from Penn State, TBD. I have some ideas, but we'll wait. Let Salima hold us in suspense here as Penn State gets a quality victory over the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation team of the Pepperdine Waves. The opening matchup here of the second annual First Point Volleyball Foundation Collegiate Challenge, coming to you live from Austin, Texas on Volleyball TV. 4 matches coming to you all Friday and Saturday. Lewis University alongside Stanford University rounding out our 4 teams here in Austin, Texas. In what is some very high-level early season men's volleyball action in this 2023 season. That is very early on, but fairly wide open. University of Hawaii looking to go for the 3-peat national championships. UCLA, very strong team this year as we get a glance at the match statistics. 8 aces in favor of Penn State, 55 attacks versus 47, 39 errors to the Pepperdine side, 6 blocks. That was a huge difference in favor of Penn State. So basically leading in every statistical category is Penn State over Pepperdine. Salima's just trying to get our match MVP in line. In just a moment, we'll get that interview. Penn State will take on Stanford University tomorrow in the second match of the day. While Pepperdine will face Lewis in attempts to get into the winning category here in Austin, Texas. Just waiting for the arrival of Penn State's match MVP, I believe, is John Kerr. Here it comes. Salima patiently waiting. And we'll go down to our courtside interview. Salima Rockwell with our match MVP, John Kerr from Penn State.
Oh, okay. All right, John, congratulations on a huge win against Pepperdine. So talk about your preparation coming into this match, coming into this weekend.
Yeah, we just came into the gym all week, worked hard, came in yesterday right off the flight, got some reps in, and then we worked hard this morning as well.
So 20 kills tonight is a big match for you, huge for your team. So what are you thinking? What's going through your head when you're attacking the ball against a team like Pepperdine?
Just swing hard and deep, because they got some big blockers up there, and that was my goal, and I think I did pretty well on that.
No, you definitely did, and it was an entire team effort. Now, how is it having Wildman back in the lineup with you guys and on the court?
It's a lot of fun. Him and Bogner bring the bonus energy, and it's a lot of fun to have them out there playing with us.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on your win. You are the player of the match, so congratulations on that as well, and good luck moving forward the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, great insights there from our match MVP from Penn State, John Kerr, the opposite hitter. Thanks to our courtside interviewer, Salima Rockwell. Thanks to you, everyone watching from wherever you may be on Volleyball TV. For our cameraman and production crew, my name is Matt Prosser. Thanks for joining us. Stay with us. Top of the hour. Next match up on court here will be Lewis versus Stanford. But for now, it's good night.